Well, let's turn now to Mark chapter 2. Next book, Mark chapter 2. Because I want to show you Jesus as he taught, what he taught about fasting. And I just want to read through starting in verse 20 with you and just comment in between. And I'll try and make it real clear. You follow in the text, and when I talk, you'll know it's not what the text says. But it says in Mark 2, verse 20, Jesus said, "But the days will come when the bridegroom will be taken away from them." Mark 2:20. What's he talking about? He's talking about himself. He called himself the bridegroom. We're engaged to him. But this is a prophetic passage. Jesus was pointing to the cross. He was pointing to his ascension. And he says, I'm going to be gone. And he was getting the apostles ready for that. He says, hey, man, it's not always going to be like this. Me with you, answering all your questions and always bailing you out. I'm leaving. So he's getting them ready. So we should really listen to that. Because this is the time we're living in. Jesus is not physically walking around with us, holding our hand and answering our questions and bailing us out all the time. He is with us always. He's interceding for us. His Spirit fills us, but he's not visibly there. So how do we operate, Jesus, when you're not physically beside us? Well, he answers that. Keep reading. The rest of verse 20. And then they will fast in those days. You know what Jesus said would be characteristic of his church when he's gone? That's us. When Jesus ascended, he said, my church is going to fast. Why? Well, for me, I look out there and I see my wonderful wife sitting and think about her. And you know what I remember? For the 96 days before we got married, I was leading a tour. Can you believe? What a guy. To leave your wife to do all the work for the wedding. But I had agreed and signed on to doing a 31-country tour around the world, no less. And I had to shuttle these folks to see all the sights of the world. And every mile I went, I was a mile away from Bonnie, and I was getting married to her when I got back. And I missed her so much that a lot of times I would sit in some of the most beautiful spots on this planet, and I wouldn't even eat a thing. Why? My heart longed for the one I loved, who I knew was not present with me. I remember standing at the Taj Mahal, you know, that beautiful edifice, that marble tomb mausoleum in India. And I mean, my folks and Laura and they were just eating it up and eating everything in the restaurant that was there. And I was sitting there looking at that beautiful structure, the Taj Mahal, and I thought, I wish Bonnie was here to see that. Look back at this verse. The day will come when the bridegroom will be taken away from them, when the one they love won't be in their sight, and when they'll miss him so much. And then, verse 20 says, they will fast in those days. Why? Because they long so much for him, for Christ. We long for him.